if we go by simulation theory,
Oh, he cooking now.
why would we create a simulation to go backwards? We would create it to go forwards.
Okay.
We would be two-dimensional beings wanting to see the third. Right? If I'm a fourth, I'm not going to put myself back in the third.
Right.
I'm going to want to see the fifth. So I'm saying, everyone who wants to get all holy and say, I'm a fifth dimensional being, I transcend time and space, motherfucker, you a two-dimensional being living in a simulation that just gets you to the point that you think you can see the third.
So I'm a stick figure.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, two dope dads would like to present to you the tag team champions of the world and deaf.
And death.
It's your man, Qualified, aka the Dirty Daddy, aka Dr. Foot Lover, aka Mr. aka Mr. Black Future, aka Black ECW, aka the Black American Dream. And I got right here with me.
Yo. It's Eddie C.
Uh-huh.
AKA the Killer Gorilla.
Who is it?
AKA the Dirty Birdie.
Mm-hmm.
AKA the Tater Gator.
Okay.
AKA Mr. Wiggles in the flesh.
Hey, welcome.
What up?
Yeah.
I'm the Tater Gator now.
That's a new thing. Yeah, and we got a new intro.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, look at that.
We're the tag team champions of the world.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Generation X.
Yeah. And us, because we're the tag team
And
champions
us,
of the world.
new champs. Brand new champs.
Brand new.
You know what I mean? Speaking of new champs, you didn't get a chance to make it out, but me and Def went out to Oos Wrestling Resurrection.
Hell yeah.
And there is a new champ. Shout out to my man Chris Wilde, the incredible Chris Wilde.
The incredible Chris Wilde.
Let's get wild. Clap, 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 clap.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Is that
man.
what they do?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I was proud to have actually started the Let's Get Wild chant
Ooh.
at this past event during the main event.
Is that
So-
something? Is that something you got to do at the right moment? Like, is it like the slow clap? You could fuck it up if you do it at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
Yeah. So definitely, it was he was facing off in the main event versus superstar Kevin Matthews. Formerly appeared on Impact Wrestling. Looks like he's holding it down in Alaska, 907 Wrestling. They were facing off, and Kevin Matthews had just talked a bunch of shit about Hawaii and the fans sucking and stuff like that. So he was definitely the heel, and he said he was going to take the belt and then take it away and defend it in Brooklyn and in Alaska and then retire it and all this shit. You know what I mean? And we were like, no, that's our belt. And Chris Wilde was standing there and he's holding it down for us, the Oos fans. So I was like, let's get wild. Clap, 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 clap. And then everybody joined in. It was perfect.
Damn.
Yeah. And then he won. So,
Hell yeah.
So that was great. Yeah.
And that was the street fight, right?
That was the street fight.
Man,
Yeah,
I missed out.
Yeah. Chris Wilde came back. He got a security cone smacked over his head and it exploded.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
They smashed that bamboo sword thing.
yeah,
They snapped that
kendo
in
stick
half. The
is what
kendo
it's-
stick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Why are you telling me?
Well, hey man,
Called it the bamboo.
It's
stick
made out of
thing.
bamboo.
yeah,
I got one in my living room
yes,
As
Well,
you should.
because all Siberians have that.
Yeah. Wouldn't be Siberian without it.
Yeah, man.
If you were a wrestler, what would your finishing move be called?
I had actually come up with a wrestling character, and it was I got it from Static Shock. So there was a bad guy, the shadowy dude, and he was called Ebon. And so I just thought that sounded like a dope ass name, like just coming to the ring, Ebon, and like it just sounded like somebody who would kick some ass. And then I was like, yo, what if my finisher was called the Ebonic Drop?
Ooh.
Nice.
You know what I mean? And then like my character just always speaking Ebonics.
Would that be like, what's the Ebonic drop? Would you be like flying from the top rope type thing, or you would like pick him up and slam him down?
No, my thing was basically doing like a Northern Lights driver. So just
Pretend I don't know what that means. I totally do,
so,
but let's pretend like I don't.
Let me show you.
Okay.
All right? Can we show this? I'll find a video here.
Well, he's,
Oh no, you got to show him on camera. Like you got to do it.
I got to do the
Yeah.
Northern Lights driver.
yeah, and I'll be the person you're doing it on pause.
Okay, well,
You know what my finishing move would be while he's
What?
looking that up? The wiggle tickle. I will tickle them until they tap out.
That,
Would you like me to demonstrate that one as well?
no.
it's something like
Please
this
don't.
here.
Not as big as it used to be on Kingston.
I don't
Drops
think you
them.
can do that to me, or
Yeah.
I would prefer for you not to do that to me.
Yeah.
Can I show that on the
Yes,
big screen
I'll
at home?
show you I'll
for all
send
the
you
peoples?
I'll send you a video here.
All right.
See, but mine's is safer to demonstrate.
Yours does not need demonstration.
Did you hear what my finishing move would be?
Something about tickling.
Yeah, the wiggle tickle
The wiggle tickle. You're gonna wiggle and tickle me to death.
until you tap.
Into submission.
Honestly, I probably wouldn't take too long because I'd just be like, "Yo, get the fuck off!"
Exactly. Exactly.
Yo, stop wiggling and tickling. Like, yo, fam, go do that over there.
Hey, you tap and I'll leave.
And there you go. He's got a W.
Like this man has the fastest finishes.
That reminds me of Chicken Dude,
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah. He used to wrestle in AZW.
Is there a name for that? Like taking a character like that's just like over the top. Like he's kind of there to laugh at.
Yeah, man. You can be just that's comedy wrestling.
Oh,
so yeah,
that makes sense. I thought there'd be a cool name because y'all got cool names for shit.
I mean, like when it's a bad guy, like a lot of times they'll say there'll be a comedy heel, so it'll be a bad guy that you laugh at, but he pretty much always gets beat up.
What's a good example of a comedy heel? Like I've watched a little bit. Like I'm hoping that
A
it
comedy
jumps out.
heel, and you probably didn't see this guy, but a comedy heel who really stands out recently is a guy. His name was James Ellsworth. So basically, he showed up, and at first he was a good guy, but he's a weird looking dude. They kept making fun of him for not having a chin. And then
why are you laughing? That's terrible.
turtle ass looking nigga. But like yeah, so they was making fun of him for that and stuff like that, and he's not big at all. Then he started helping this one girl like cheat to win matches and stuff like that, but also he was always like the butt of the joke and stuff like that. So that's a very common trope that you'll see in wrestling.
Was there ever a leprechaun?
Yes,
I remember a leprechaun.
that's
kinda
another
where my mind went to.
That's another example of a comedy character.
All right, cool.
Yeah, his name was Hornswoggle.
Yes, yo. I
Okay.
kind of killed him.
What? It's funny.
But yeah, no, that's totally an example. So, like Kumu Oceans at the show.
Yeah.
He's a little bit of an example of a comedy heel, but it was kind of weird because his promo kind of came off a little bit baby face-ish.
What does that mean?
Like a good guy. Like what he was saying.
Who did he wrestle against?
He wrestled against the guy from Alaska, AJ Radical, the 907 champion.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then that guy technically cheated to win, but the way that he cheated is the way that Eddie Guerrero used to cheat to win, and everybody loved it when Eddie Guerrero did it. So now when people do it, it's usually like a good guy paying out homage to Eddie.
Yeah.
So it's almost not really a bad way to cheat. So it seemed like he was kind of playing face, but
He wasn't.
Kumu is our guy, so we're gonna cheer for Kumu over this other dude.
Yeah.
But shout out to AJ Radical, he was cool. I dapped him up after and talked to him a little bit. Yeah, he was cool. It was a good performance. He kind of looked like X-Pac a little bit. So
With the hair.
Yeah, and just even like his mannerisms and in the face. So like there was a part during the match where I yelled out. I was like, "Hey, yo, you dealing with the X Factor?" Which was so X-Pac was in a stable called X Factor, and that was like how, and their theme song was by Uncle Kracker of all people, and that was how the song started. So that was like a little joke for us wrestling nerds, like I said, and like the 8 of us all cracked up. It was fun.
Speaking of wrestling nerds, dude, before we went, we were in the car and like this dude's all excited, like just keeps talking about wrestling shit.
Yeah.
And like, of course, everyone's there in their wrestling shirts and they're talking about who their favorite wrestlers are. I'm over there in a Cowboy Bebop shirt and like not knowing what the fuck's going on. And literally before we got out of the car, he's like, basically what I'm trying to say is people know me there, so don't embarrass me.
Yeah. No,
Did he embarrass you?
no, he did great.
Good job.
You
Thanks.
know, I wish he would have wore like a wrestling shirt. He told me he was gonna wear a Four Horsemen shirt,
It didn't come in yet.
but okay, cool. So, cause I was like nervous, but then when he showed up in the fucking Cowboy Bebop shirt, I kind of wish that he had worn it. But when he told me he was gonna wear it, I was like, you better fucking know who they are.
Yeah. Oh, and so when he said, "Don't fucking embarrass me," I was teasing him. I was just like, "So, don't ask them who the Four Horsemen are." No. He's like, "No, you should know that."
Yeah, man.
Good times.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was really fun.
Oh man, that would have been perfect if you would have just decided that all night you were gonna embarrass the shit out of him.
Oh, I would have been really upset.
And I played it
Like,
off.
remember all those times you made fun of me?
No, because then they're just gonna make fun of me when I'm not there.
Yeah.
No, but I played it off because one of the girls there was like, "So who's your favorite wrestler?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know. It's my first time to this show." I got you.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man.
And I cut her
did
off.
you- did
I
you
cut
hit her
her off
with the-
before she could explain anything else. I was just like, "But I used to go to the AZW shows," and then she just wanted to talk about AZW, so which was fine because I kind of knew some
was
of the
going
people
on.
and the
Yeah, man.
overlap. You know,
Did you hit her
Shout out
with
to-
you come here often?
no, but she did.
She
go
does.
there. She does go there often.
Yeah. Every time there's a show.
Yeah.
It
I think
sounds
we're
like a good
wrestling
pickup line.
friends now.
Yeah, man. That's the
Nice. Yeah,
homie.
wrestling friends now.
Dude, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I haven't had wrestling friends since high school. It was
Yeah.
a different kind of wrestling.
Different
We
kind.
wore tights together.
We got to go to the next show.
Yeah, I want to go.
All right, man. Shout out to Oos Wrestling. Holler at us, man. We want to talk to you.
Hopefully we can record. We didn't record anything.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get kicked out.
Yeah.
You know, even though I think we could have recorded, I think it was good we didn't. Because,
Yeah.
like, people were filming with their phones, but I had a big-ass fucking camera. Like,
Yeah.
it was bigger than some of the... Like, my rig was more expensive than some of the other guys, and we didn't have a lot of space.
Yeah.
Like, even with my gimbal, that shit would have been in the fucking way. So maybe that was for the best. Maybe we got to go with the GoPro.
Yeah.
Just figure out all the things
Yeah.
before.
All
Do
the
some
things,
practice.
all the angles.
Or we'll just bring them both and just be like, "Fuck it, I'm here to record." I'll get up, I'll walk around and do shit until they say something.
They might think you just work for them.
Dude, I'll print out a press
Just get
badge.
one of their shirts.
Ooh. Yo, that's that big brain, bro.
And walk around with a clipboard in your other hand. And when someone asks you a question, be
Right.
like,
Do you have
Start
to
talking,
Yeah, I'm
start
the one
talking into
answering.
an earpiece.
yeah,
Like, yeah.
yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah.
Hold on. Yeah. And just,
Hell yeah.
yeah, it's the move.
I'm coming to the business attire, so look official.
Boom.
Even the owner will probably be like, oh, this guy probably belongs here.
Yo. Hell yeah.
It's one of ours. He's got on our
Who's that guy? You should get a race.
Ah, man.
You wanted to say something about New Zealand. We're going to completely change the subject here.
Oh, yeah,
but
no,
I want to
totally.
hear this New Zealand thing.
Okay. So today on our episode, we're going to be talking a little bit about conspiracy theories. This is not one of those.
Motherfucker. What the hell?
But it's interesting. It's interesting. So I came across this video on YouTube. Vice New Zealand, shout out to Vice, really fucked with their channel previously. I haven't watched it in a while because then the programming just started to get like really redundant. Like, how many times can I watch people smoke weed? But anyway, I mean, I like it, but like it was just like, and I don't know, I just wanted more. Anyway, let's get to
New Zealand.
New Zealand, right? All right, so they were talking about this video popped up, and they were talking about New Zealand. Because of New Zealand's isolation, like geographically, they were saying that a lot of the drug cartels were kind of ignoring New Zealand as far as supplying New Zealand with drugs. So, like, some of the drugs that are more popular other places, like cocaine, wasn't like popping like that in New Zealand. Heroin, other things like that, right? That didn't mean that they weren't. Excuse me. That didn't mean that they that they weren't doing drugs. That just meant that they weren't doing the same drugs as everybody else. So
What were they doing?
niggas was doing meth.
Oh.
Because you can make that shit.
Because you could make it in like the home labs and shit like that.
God damn.
So meth was like,
Somebody get a cartel down there
Oh,
ASAP.
Well.
There's
you're
more.
jumping ahead.
Okay, my bad.
So
Damn, trying to save some lives over here.
yeah, right. So
By adding cartels to the mix.
Yeah, dude,
Some
get rid
other
of the
shit.
meth and like give them some party drugs. Damn.
well, hey, right? So they were doing meth. Shit started getting bad because like niggas was doing meth, making meth, and had their own labs and stuff like that. So now people are fighting over like who's gonna make the most money and shit like that. So now people are dying. There's violence. Gangs are trying to control the shit, right?
And then who rolled up?
So there was this guy, and he was actually a rock star over there in New Zealand. His name is Matt Bowden, right? So things were getting bad with meth, and then people were also doing like synthetic drugs like spice and shit like that. People starting to
Goddamn.
fuck with that, right? This guy Matt Bowden teamed up with some scientists and was like, yo, let's like create some shit, like a safe alternative. Matt Bowden had two good friends die because of drugs. Somebody died because of meth, and another person killed themselves after, I guess, like a bad trip on some synthetic psychedelics. Right? So him and these scientists went into it and came up with these pills BZP. They found this. He said they found this one molecule or whatever, and I guess it was like it gives the high, but it's a whole lot safer than using the other shit, right? So they make that and they start pressing their own pills, and they're selling these party packs of pills, right? And these pills are legal because there's no regulation on that at that point in New Zealand. So the pills are legal. They're and you can get them everywhere. You can get them at the gas station. You can get them at the fucking whatever the New Zealand equivalent of Kmart is. You know, you can pull up at all these places, right? And then eventually, but there's no regulation on it, so you don't have, there's no age limit, like, so, you know, kids can buy this, whoever. If you got the money, you can get it. So eventually, New Zealand cracks down on this shit. They make it illegal. So then after they make that illegal, then people just start making other synthetic fake shit. Just kind of like, if, you know, you remember that spice run that was going on here where you can get it at the smoke shops, and then once one thing was illegal, 2 weeks later, now there's a new thing in there, and it's like, oh, it's kind of like spice, but this one is legal.
They kept flip-flopping like the terminology on what was legal or what was not. So the manufacturers kept reprinting their labels with different terminologies. And so they kept having to pull shit from the shelves and put stuff back out. But they were trying to like stop it, but it's a bunch of chemicals mixed in and absorbed by the matter, the materials, and the motherfucking manufacturers already made that shit, so they're gonna try to find ways to get it out there.
Right. So with New Zealand, they're when they were banning one thing, they started just like flipping other shit. So they're the way that they were explaining in this video, there's labs like in China, and they're just making all these different types of synthetic drugs. Every time that there's an ingredient that's changed and one lab gets shut down, there's already another lab making some other shit and putting some kind of twist on it, because there's just too much money in this market in making synthetic drugs, especially in places where there's regulations where it's harder to get other shit. Then okay, let's get this other shit that you can get at the head shop, and this makes you feel like this, or this makes you feel like this. Anyway, this guy Matt Bowden, after the legal shit that he was doing got shut down, he went back with his scientists and went to the government and like basically kind of laid it out, because once this shit got banned, people started doing they just kept more synthetic shit started popping up, and then a lot of people went back to meth. But when you could get his shit everywhere and it was legal, like meth consumption was down. So he's like, look, if people have a safer alternative and they're able to go get it and it's regulated, people are going to go with the safer alternative.
Yeah.
Just like, think about it. If somehow they made hamburgers illegal and now you got to go to like...
Motherfuckers.
You got to go to like a nigga's house to get hamburgers.
I'm gonna be there all the time.
Yeah, right? But like, but then...
That's how the Hamburglar was born.
Right? But then if all
that
of a sudden...
That might be my house, damn.
After all these years of... Say they have 10 years of where shit is illegal and you just got to go to people's houses, and people's houses are turned into underground hamburger spots. But then all of a sudden they bring...
like that's a movie idea.
All of a sudden they bring back McDonald's. Niggas is gonna be the fuck back at McDonald's.
Yeah.
So like, of course, like if all I have, basically Matt Bowden's point of view was like, look, you're not gonna stop drug use. Like since the beginning of time, there's always been like something that's like motherfuckers have used some kind of substance, whether it's like they found this plant and it makes me hallucinate or it does whatever, like niggas is gonna use some shit. So instead of trying to like fucking stamp it all out and make it illegal because motherfuckers is going to get to the shit anyway. Why don't we regulate? Wow, this sounds like another thing that we were talking about off mic. But why don't, instead of like, why don't we just regulate this thing? Right? Why don't we just regulate this thing so that way if we're going to do it, we can do it safely and make sure that people aren't hurting themselves or hurting others and it ain't all this crazy shit. So he went back to the government with that and they were like, all right, bet, I feel it. You right, dog. And then, but then they put a kicker on it. They can start making this shit, but they can't test on animals. So I guess
No animals.
Right, I guess, so there for them, they say that like there's ways to do it ethically, and it makes it really hard to see some of the effects if we can't use animals, because how are we gonna like judge the shit? So
speaking of animals, y'all know about the rat park experiment?
what?
No.
Do you know about the rat park experiment? No. So in the 1970s, scientists were studying. They were trying to figure out if they could manipulate rats either into or away from drugs. So what they just wanted a baseline. So the baseline was putting a rat alone in a cage, in a small cage by themselves without a community, and 2 water bottles, one with just water and one that has like something, amphetamine or something that's going to give it a trip. And it started off with the water, but eventually it started taking the drugs. And then it would just always go back to the drugs.
Yeah.
What they found was when they created the rat park, where it was a big community of rats, and they'd have like the rat wheel, the running wheel and shit, and like just stuff for them to socialize and do and be active and live a healthy or more normalized life in a society.
They didn't do no drugs?
No. They went to the water. And so, like, the idea that people are never going to stop doing drugs, that's only true if we can never figure out how to take care of people. You know what I mean? Like, as a society.
I feel you.
Like, anytime a person feels like they are isolated from society, that they don't fit in, that they don't have the needs, the basic necessities that they need to feel proud, important, happy, like loved, whatever it is that they're missing.
That's why
they're going to turn to drugs.
Well, what if I'm happy and I want to do happy drugs?
What if I just like drugs, damn it?
Yeah. You dick. Why you got to call me out?
Well, I mean, you're also not a rat. This is a sample of a species that has...
Damn right I'm not a rat. I ain't never snitched.
And I do it because I like it. I could quit at any time.
Oh.
Nah, that's really interesting. Yeah. But just to wrap up the story about New Zealand here, so Matt Bowden, they didn't get the okay to test on animals. And now meth use is up. But
motherfuckers,
peep this, right? So meth, they were saying, and I know this video is recent. I'm not sure how recent, so I don't know what the prices are because Two Dope Dads has no affiliation with any type of illegal activities in the streets. We don't do any of that shit. We wouldn't know how much it costs.
Don't do drugs. Stay away from meth. Crack kills.
Yep.
If you do, I find out, I'm gonna beat your ass.
Facts.
Like your daddy.
On some dad shit. So,
But if we were to know how much,
according to Vice, New Zealand, they were saying that a kilo of meth in the U.S. would go for $4,000 bucks, but because
sounds about right.
from whatever, but because in New Zealand, the isolation there and everything like that, and things just being harder to get there. There's a crazy inflation on drugs, so everything's a whole lot more expensive. So that same kilo they were saying in New Zealand would be worth about $40,000.
Damn.
So now that people see that the market is there and people want to do stuff and that they can make money like that, the cartels are paying attention, the cartels are involved, and now they're starting to back some of the New Zealand biker gangs.
Ooh.
And that's making the violence that they had before look a whole lot smaller in comparison, and that's only gonna make things worse because the cartel supply is a whole lot more than what those homemade labs could do.
Damn.
So
Shit's wild.
Yeah.
They about to get into it.
yeah,
That's all I know.
yeah. So that was some interesting shit. It was just I don't know if there's a conspiracy there, but I just thought that that would be an interesting story and something to kick our shit off with. I really think that the Matt Bowden character is an interesting person in that story, just because, like, here's this rock star and uses his rock star money to get some scientists together, and then made a whole bunch of money off these pills before it was illegal. Now he's lobbying and trying to do stuff with the government. I don't know, man. It's just interesting. I don't know. Maybe this guy's gonna. I could see you could pivot and turn that into some kind of political career. Like there's, what I mean. There's a lot of stuff that you can do with that. It's just
Then he'll
interesting.
probably learn all the secrets,
Nah, I mean, Lex Luthor.
like how the Earth is flat.
What?
Yeah.
What do you- yeah.
I mean,
Who the fuck?
I mean, I don't know if I agree with this whole Earth being flat thing, but I could see motherfuckers getting the secrets. It's like that Nick Cage movie with the chick who's blonde and museums and shit. Was it
Night at the museum.
no,
National Treasure.
National Treasure. Yes.
Just like your
Nick
theory,
Cage.
you wrong.
Nick Cage is not at Night at the Museum.
Oh, that's Ben Stiller.
Totally Ben Stiller.
Well, they look similar.
No, they don't.
You always get them confused.
No, we don't. No one ever gets them confused.
Nick Cage's fucking role in Dodgeball. It's crazy.
What?
Oh my god. Okay, wait. So before you try to change the subject,
Vince
why don't
Vaughn.
you
Yeah.
why don't you
Vince
tell
Stiller
us
again.
tell us more about your church of
Steve the
flat
Pirate.
earthers?
Okay, go ahead.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
Nobody. This is a painting of me grabbing a bull by the horns. It's a metaphor.
Man, Nicolas Cage is good in that.
Yeah, killed it.
Oh man.
Yeah, the Earth is flat, bro. I mean, I don't know what else I need to explain. There's an ice wall around it, and we're a flat disc falling upward into space. So gravity is fake as well.
What's
Who
your
the
hat
fuck
say?
told you this?
Make Earth cooling?
Yeah.
Okay.
Another conspiracy.
I mean, like,
That's another one?
who told you this? Like,
what do you mean,
why
who told me this?
that the Earth is flat? Like, why do you believe this? Do you believe this?
Because it's true.
I mean, but like, what convinced you that it's true?
The data, mostly.
What is that?
I saw a real convincing video on YouTube once.
Okay, and what did they say? Like, Why did you?
No, but hold up.
Did you believe that the Earth was round before you saw this video?
Yeah, like most sheeple out there.
Okay. And so, like, what did they say that you were like, oh shit? What made you see the light?
I don't know. I don't believe her.
He's a shill.
But the whole when I was saying Earth was a disc falling upwards into space, so gravity is also fake.
Yeah.
That's also where global warming is coming. We're falling up closer to the sun. That's why we're
that makes
hot,
sense.
and we got to make Earth cool again. We need to figure out how to put the elevator down a level.
Okay, I have a conspiracy here. I don't have any evidence that this is true.
Those are the best ones,
Right? But I mean, this is just
Like the flat Earth.
all right. This is just what I believe, right?
We'll come back to that.
Okay. Aliens are real. Okay?
Oh, okay.
What?
Aliens are real.
Uh-huh.
All right? I feel like that's I feel like that's just the truth.
He feels it.
Where?
But here during the pandemic, right? During 2020,
Yes.
the Pentagon basically released this statement when we were
They
still
confirmed that there were UFOs. We went over this.
Yes. All right, let me finish, bro.
Okay.
Yo, chill.
Okay. Right? So they
Getting really aggressive. I don't know
right?
why.
So they confirmed that they were UFOs, right? I feel that they're prepping us for the eventual announcement, hey, aliens are real. We know them niggas.
Oh.
Right? I'm not saying that they're announcing that yet, but I feel like something like that is coming. And I feel like they're trying because after all this time, when they've denied all this shit, to come out, even though admitting that UFOs are real is not admitting that aliens are real. Like, why would you even concede that much if you're just like, no, this is horse shit, everybody who talks about it is crazy, right? I feel like anytime they release any kind of information, especially like a government agency or entity like the fucking Pentagon, like, there's a reason why this is coming out, and I feel like they tell us what they want to tell us in order to shape whatever perception or whatever they want to do, right? They give us information, and they want us to think a certain way about the information that they give to us, right? So I do feel that they're prepping us. And eventually they're gonna be like, yo, them niggas is real. We know them niggas. Hey, there's shit that be going on. You know, for shizzle by bibble. You know what I mean?
This is grown folk stuff. Don't worry about it.
Right.
But I'm just letting you know the shit's going on over here.
So, like, whenever they're ready or whenever they just can't hide it anymore. This brings me to another idea. The ocean. 70% of the earth is covered by the ocean, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know the numbers on this if it's true, but I've heard somewhere that we've only explored about 20% of the ocean. How deep can we go into the ocean? Like, you can only go...
I usually go to my shoulders.
Right, exactly. I usually stop around my waist.
You're correct. 20% has been explored.
All right, so only 20% of the ocean has been explored. 70% of it covers the entire Earth. We can't even go that deep because we're going to get crushed by the pressure. You're not going to come back up. Aliens is down there, nigga.
But haven't you seen the movie Signs
No,
with Mel Gibson
I have not.
and Joaquin Phoenix?
I have not, actually.
Aliens come to Earth, and their fucking kryptonite is water.
But that's a movie.
Which is fuck. Why would
It also wouldn't make sense
Yeah.
because water's like the basis for life.
Right.
So like, I mean, yes, it's on Earth, but I would assume there's some universal truths that elements make up particles for life, like that's necessary for life, right? There's certain things we search for. So why would they be allergic to water? Like water, they would be part water.
No, you know what's you're diving too deep. The obvious bullshit is that if we were gonna go to a different planet, why would we go to a planet that's 70% the shit that's gonna fucking kill us?
Yeah.
True.
Like that's where they fucked up.
Right.
Shit.
But all right. So what I'm thinking, right?
We're gonna stay on this 20%. Hope they don't find out.
I mean, they're just trying to fuck with us, like some other shit. You know what I mean? Like
You know
like,
what kind of made a little bit more sense to me? War of the Worlds, like the book.
the
Basically,
viruses and shit.
yeah, basically them being exposed to like our atmosphere and just like human germs and shit like that is what fucked them niggas up because they had just never experienced our shit. It's almost like what white folks did to the Native Americans.
Damn.
So I don't think that they're getting ready for a big reveal. I think they release the shit because shit happens, and sometimes there's shit that happens that they can't explain. And it might not even be like actual extraterrestrials. It could just be somebody was under duress and they saw some shit and they went through the process of filing a report or saying some shit or getting footage of something that they saw in the sky. You know what I mean?
Or it could be that they're fucking aliens.
No, it could be. But let me finish.
No, go ahead. What do you think?
If they're real, I also don't believe there's gonna be a reveal because I believe they're us.
Damn.
Like I think we're one and the same, or a hybrid of native beings and them, and we are too much alike for them to do a reveal. Because then people are gonna start asking questions. Is this what you really look like? How come you look like me? You know what I mean? If we look too much alike and we're too similar, people are gonna get it's gonna get weird. People are gonna be like, "What the fuck is this?" Like we related. You not some like lizard looking person that I
Yeah.
thought.
Some ET.
Okay, now
motherfucker.
that's interesting.
I don't
All right,
think-
what makes you think that?
So we talk about like ancient cultures and stuff. People always tell me you got to go to Egypt. You got to go to Egypt.
Yeah.
Like just being there and seeing like the structures and the carvings and like the way everything's put together, it gives you a perspective on like what life was like for them, right? Mm-hmm. And he said it just feels like a different planet, right? So if we still can't fully explain like how these structures were built,
Or even like
tools that they use, what the purpose of it was, then that means there's some other shit that they were on that we have no fucking clue about. We make speculations. There's some out there ones. There's some ones that are more scientific that are like generally taught in schools and stuff. I think the interesting theories I've heard were about like audio frequencies or like vibrations and how like
Good vibrations.
Yeah.
They're such a sweet sensation. All right, go ahead.
and like how some of these chambers remind people of like acoustic chambers through like systems.
Yeah.
Where like speakers, right? Like systems, how they echo. They could be like amplifiers. Me not being a scientist, I don't know if any of this is true, but this is some of the shit that I was seeing about like people's theories on what some of these things could be.
So-
and it's just like if these are just people, if they are just us and they just have memory of their history, the global history before time that we understand, which there's remnants of time that we don't understand, and they know the shit before that, and they still have that technology, like, yeah, they can fly around and like monitor and like spectate what's going on here, but they wouldn't want to get too close, because then all of a sudden you got little brother want to know everything.
Mm-hmm.
And
So,
if they're not,
are you saying that ancient Egyptians fucked aliens?
no, I'm not saying that at all.
Oh, did I completely miss something then?
No, no. Okay, so that's one path you can take, and then because I specified that time period, so you can say that that's what's happening. But that shit comes up in the Bible.
Okay. All right, here we go. Because right when you were talking about Egypt, I started thinking about some stuff in the Bible. Okay. So there
The
are
angels.
Okay. So there's stuff in the Bible, right? The angels, all the angels were in heaven. Lucifer, who eventually becomes Satan. Lucifer was living in heaven. He thought that he could be better than God. He was cast down to earth with a third of the angels. And so they were on earth for a bit. Now, there's also a part in the Bible where it talks about while they were down on earth, some of those demons basically fucked with some humans, and that's how eventually we ended up getting some of those giants that they talk about. They talk about Goliath. Goliath was 9 feet tall. When have you ever seen a person who's 9 feet tall? So they were descendants of these people who were cast down from heaven. And then when you look in the Bible later on, it talks about, like in the book of Daniel, it talks about that one of the angels was going back to heaven, and he had to fight went on his way back, like against the principalities and the principalities of the air. Now, what are the principalities of the air? Principalities of the air are in space. So they were saying that, like, sometimes they were saying some of these demons occupy space. Now, if they're out in outer space, what would we think of them as? Like an alien, right? So, just that whole correlation, when you start doing that math, like, maybe the Bible is talking about aliens. Or even in some of these other instances where, like, angels are appearing, like, in the sky and a light shone down and stuff like that. A lot of these accounts also sound very similar to what modern day accounts sound like of UFO accounts.
Yeah. And the idea of an angel has changed over time too. And not just over time, but throughout the Bible. There's been different depictions. I'm going to show you something. This is a depiction of one version of angels in the Bible.
Damn.
It's not the common one, but it's
a whole lot of eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
And it looks like a machine.
Yeah, if you read the Bible, there's these descriptions, and it'll be like, it has 6 eyes, and da-da-da. Like, it sounds not necessarily what you see when people show angels on TV.
So, yeah. So, and I mean, there were some of those more traditional angel descriptions in the Bible. So it's changed depending on, like, what you're reading or what you're looking at. So it's just interesting. And it, like, Christianity, I don't think is the only place that references people from the sky.
Exactly.
So all these cultures look to the sky. And
everybody has some story about something appearing in the sky.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I used to like to watch that show. I think it was Ancient Aliens. Yeah, where they show, like, in some cave in the middle of nowhere, people were doing, like, carvings, and, like, it looks like there's a spaceship or something, something getting beamed down.
Yeah. And they talk about that too, the hieroglyphics, right, through Egypt and stuff, and how there's certain things. I mean, that can be misconstrued. Like, they talk about the human mind looking for things. We try to find a way to make sense of things. So,
but there's a lot of, like, just unexplained things from, like, the Easter Island and those big statues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like, how did they carve that shit and fucking move them across the island?
Yeah, and what do they represent?
Yeah, just niggas with big heads.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Big head nigga. Like, yo, his head is so big, we gotta make a statue to remember this shit.
Nah, niggas ain't gonna believe us, yo.
Oh my god.
Yo, they did it trolling a dude. Our great grandkids are never gonna believe this big head nigga.
Or they did it as a prank on just one dude. Like, wait till he wake up and see this shit.
Like every couple of months he'd wake up like, you guys did another one?
God damn it!
Fucking assholes, man. It's not even that big.
Oh shit!
Man, y'all got good ones. I got like shit like, I think the sun is actually a space station.
Explain.
Why would you think it's a space
It's the
station?
perfect space station, bro, for us to do our intergalactical travels and fucking like Earth defense. Because it's the fucking sun.
But like, what?
And like there's a door in the back. It opens up. You go inside that motherfucker, and it's like a big ass space, like Xenon. You know.
Zetus Cepetus.
Yeah.
So the sun likes it from the back?
Yeah.
Wow.
But we go there. You can only go, and that's the best thing, is that it's the sun, so it's on fire. So you can only go there at night.
My supernova girl.
What?
Because any other time, it's
never night. It's the sun. You gotta wait till it goes to sleep,
yeah.
bro.
When the sun
Oh
goes
my
out at night, that's
God.
when you can get into the fucking space
Yeah,
station.
man. When they unplug it.
So for like 16 hours of the day, it's protected by fire, and then the 8 hours of night is when you can get in there and do your thing.
I see.
Don't drop that shit.
Dropped it.
Pray to God.
Secret CIA
Oh my
napkin.
God.
Yeah, man.
All right, are we done talking about aliens and suns?
The moon is hollow.
Well, just to wrap up what I think about aliens in the water. Part of me thinks, and this is completely unfounded, this is just me old brain working, right? You know how we have
Who the fuck is that guy?
Who the fuck is this guy?
No, but you know how we have people who like go and stay down in Antarctica for like months, just like
No,
fucking.
I don't.
If you believe in Antarctica,
Okay, if you.
What the fuck?
But like they
there's no
have those,
Antarctica on the flat Earth.
or just anywhere, like, and they'll go to wherever and just like study and gather research and shit like that, and then they come back and write a book and shit like that.
Yeah.
What if aliens are coming to explore and like they're fucking hiding out in the water because they know they can't be like just out here, and they're like, yo, there's mad water everywhere, yo, we just gonna park our shit in the water, G, and then we gonna take off, plow, and do our shit, and then that's how we catch them on video. And a lot of time, man, fly out and disappear fly out, where you going, disappearing over it out on the water.
What if they're not? What if the aliens and like the UFOs are not physical beings that are here?
Drones.
You
Or
know how
drones.
you were talking about the ocean, how we explore the ocean through machines because we get crushed. So
They're doing the same thing.
They're doing the same shit. They're
And
just
they
observing.
have better machines that don't get crushed.
Yeah, or like can avoid being spotted all the time.
Yeah, and if
Yeah.
it goes down, then fuck it.
Not all the time because they get spotted or may possibly be getting spotted. But
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like
We flew a drone in Mars, on Mars from here.
yeah. So I'm saying like if we're assuming that there are aliens and we believe that they are more advanced than us, which is why they found us and we didn't find them, they probably using the same kind of methods that we use in, right? Like that would make
Yeah.
sense. Unless they're interdimensional and not extraterrestrial.
Ooh.
And that can be biblical too.
Yeah.
Because can I get into this?
Do it.
Can I do? Okay. So I have this. Y'all know about like simulation theory, right?
Okay. Yes.
Yes. So the idea that if you believe it is possible at some point for humans to develop like a virtual reality, like a simulation of the world for us to live in, then that means hypothetically it's very possible that it's already happened and that we're just in the simulation. And if it's not, that means we're on the route to that and it's going to happen at some point. So it's kind of like inevitability. Okay? Now, if I were to tell you that our body is just an avatar and we're controlling that avatar as a way to interface with the simulation, what does that sound like?
The Matrix.
What else?
Video games.
But motherfucker, if I were to tell you you are not your body, you have a body. You are a soul.
Oh, shit.
What does that sound like?
Sounds like fucking religion. Christianity.
So you telling me in 2022, we talking about simulation theory, and that's the exact same shit motherfuckers been talking about for thousands of years.
Holy shit. Okay.
So
Well, I need to talk to the programmer of the simulation because he fucked my shit up bad.
yeah. Well, so now you know
I need a new one.
you know how we were talking about with aliens?
Yeah.
And about like trying to think of like, well, if they were like this or if they were like that, like what is the motive? What are they using to contact us or to reach us? So do the same shit here. So like if we are capable of creating a simulation and if we already did that shit and if people are plugged into this simulation, like why would we be plugged in and like what would we be doing? What would that look like? So this is my take on it, and I don't know what other people think about it. This is just like my brain doing its thing.
Yeah, no.
Right. So what if we're actually two-dimensional beings? Have you heard this? Have you explored dimensions, the idea of dimensions and what that means? Have you studied like art, like in drawing? Do you remember people talking about two-dimensional drawing?
Yeah.
Three. Okay, so one dimension is the straight line. Two dimension is like a square, a flat square on a piece of paper. 3 dimensions is how we perceive the world, right? So there's the idea, and there's different takes on this. The idea that we're 4th dimensional beings, but we actually can only perceive the 3rd dimension, right?
I've heard of this.
I think it's the opposite. If you go by simulation theory, right?
Talk to these motherfuckers.
So if we go by simulation theory,
Oh, he cooking now.
why would we create a simulation to go backwards? We would create it to go forwards.
Okay.
We would be 2-dimensional beings wanting to see the 3rd. Right? If I'm a 4th, I'm not going to put myself back in the 3rd.
Right.
I'm going to want to see the 5th. So I'm saying everyone who wants to get all holy and say, I'm a 5th dimensional being, I transcend time and space, motherfucker, you a 2-dimensional being living in a simulation that just gets you to the point that you think you can see the 3rd.
So I'm a stick figure.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Crazy.
My stick figure looked like a tripod.
If y'all out there
That is also
smoking,
ridiculous.
chilling, and watching this shit because you saw the tag that said conspiracies, I hope I just fucked your whole life up.
Yeah. Nah, that shit was crazy, yo. Right when you compared it to fucking religion and shit, I was just like,
But nah, that's my hot take on, like, you know, simulation theory. I really fuck with it because you think about it, something like there's a whole industry around it. You said video games. So
Yeah.
if it exists on a micro form, that means it can exist on a macro form one day, if not already.
yeah.
Like,
The
I
thing-
feel like that's
I mean, I
super
feel like
attainable.
I feel like that's part of what they're trying to do with the fucking metaverse.
Exactly.
The thing about, we like go back a little bit. The that I have a hard time wrapping my head around with aliens and like coming here. Like I do believe there's aliens and stuff, but coming here. It's like, why? Like if they have the technology to travel across space and do all these cool things, like we're not fucking interesting.
Well, this is why I said I think we're one and the same, or we're related somehow. I think they just have the knowledge of our history that we don't have. So I think it's of interest to them because they know.
You know what? Maybe they've been here looking for Two Dope Dad merch.
Probably.
And you should get some yourself.
The Segway Sultan strikes again. Bow.
Have you ever guys? Have you ever guys?
Never have I ever.
Never have I ever, guys.
Hey guys, have you ever heard of the back rooms? Pause.
Been there. I mean,
Wow!
heard of. You knew what I meant.
Oh shit! But it's like a urban legend type shit. So basically, I don't know. It's like it made me think of this when you were talking about the dimensions. So basically, it's like being in an office building and you end up in these yellowish back rooms where it's just like these long hallways and shit like that, but you're basically like you've slipped into another dimension, and that's what it looks like.
The fuck?
Yeah, like glitches. That's like it's interesting to look up like glitches in the simulation. Like there's videos you could find where there's like they're like, oh, something's wrong here, and they try to explain it as like a glitch in the simulation. Like you ever read the thing about like how you think you remember things from your childhood, but they're not actually like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mandela effect.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about this recently, not in the context of Mandela effect, but in the context of being replaced by machines. That like, you know how we learn how to do shit, and we talk about like the human element of stuff.
Yeah.
The thing that makes the machine better at majority of the shit that we've been doing for however long, perfect memory.
Like precise programming and shit.
Like when you boil down, if you look at like human error, what does that boil down to? A lapse of memory.
You forgot something. Yep.
You've done it so many times. How do you forget it? You forget it because you've done it so many times.
You're just on autopilot.
Yeah. And you might mistakenly think, I've done that already because you did it yesterday.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so you skipped it. That's how that shit happens.
And
Not
laziness.
saying machine, well, maybe, but not saying machines don't, like memory can't degrade over time. Like shit will start to malfunction. But the idea is that the right technology that can handle the capacity for that memory, whatever it's doing, should be able to last longer and be more accurate than a human's memory. So, like when you talk about that, like, I think it's just a memory thing.
No, it's a glitch.
Oh, okay.
You just wasted a whole lot of time explaining something that was wrong. I want you to know that.
All right. So it happens when you get into conspiracies. I gotta be wrong sometimes.
Yeah, but I don't know. That back rooms thing is like.
Wait, so how do you? Is that just glitch? Or is that what he's saying? The glitch? Is it the same thing?
Kind of like you can. Basically, they're saying that there's these other dimensions that are out there, and somehow you can slip into like the back rooms, and that's
that
kind of
just
like a purgatory area between.
Is it just like a natural phenomenon that people have experienced, or like,
there
where
are
does this
people
come
who say
from?
that they've I know it's something that's picked up. It's kind of like in the urban legend creepypasta vein
That sounds
type deal, but there are people who have claimed to have gotten trapped in the back rooms for
like
periods
the
of
time
times.
I was driving on the freeway and I realized I was surrounded by white cars. It was all white cars. My car was the only car that wasn't white.
That was weird.
It was creepy.
Yeah.
Was it late at night?
No, it was broad daylight.
Oh, well, not as creepy then.
It was no. I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone. I was like, why does everyone have a white car and I don't?
Yeah, it's weird.
I was picturing you like driving on like H3 at night, and all of a sudden, like a whole bunch of white cars approach you and
show up.
surround you. That would be creepy.
Yeah, that too. That's not what happened though.
Yeah. Damn.
Random side note. The trademark on Winnie the Pooh is up, so now it's public domain.
Oh,
so
shit.
people can do like whatever they want with Winnie the Pooh now.
You about to make a song?
No, somebody
What
actually.
are you planning to do to Winnie the Pooh?
Well, I'm not planning to do anything. Somebody is actually making a Winnie the Pooh horror movie.
Oh,
that's wild.
I didn't click on that, but I saw that.
Yeah, so like
I didn't
Winnie,
click on the link, but I saw. I thought
Winnie
it was
the
fake.
Winnie the Pooh and Piglet are gonna be going around like killing shit.
That sounds awesome.
So
Kind of.
Yo,
nah,
if
but
Tigger is the first one to die, I'm riding.
I don't know if
Oh.
Tigger is, but the thing is, I don't know if Tigger is. I don't know if he's public domain yet, so he might not be in the movie.
Ooh, so he's
The
gonna be
black
the
dude.
last to die.
The black person usually dies first.
Tigger's just not gonna be there.
Yeah,
They can't pay for. They can't pay for that Tigger.
he'll be in the next one. like
Disney
5
still
years
own
later.
that shit. Disney shut their whole shit down. Nah, but yeah, Winnie the Pooh is fucking public domain. So if you're like a,
We gotta
artist,
we gotta
or if
sample
you're
Winnie the
trying
Pooh.
to do, make shirts and shit like that, you can do all
yeah.
kind of Winnie the Pooh shit now.
Yo, let's make a 2 Dope Dad Winnie the Pooh shirt.
Yeah.
Killing the nigga.
What? Damn.
For Halloween.
Yeah. It's my honey now.
Yeah.
Speaking of Tigger.
Okay.
Whoa.
Watch how you say it, nigga.
Speaking of honey.
Okay.
Call him Big T when you speak on his name.
Oh. Speaking of Big T,
How about Mr. T?
Miss.
That's somebody else.
Speaking of that tiger. Y'all ever play Kanye Quest 3030?
I have not. What is this?
So it's a computer game for PC released, which is what computer game means. It was released for PC in 2013.
Okay.
Created on RPG Maker. It was like a indie, like alternative, like developer
Yeah.
who later denied creating the game at all.
Ooh.
It was a hip hop game. Hold on, I got it pulled up here. So the game was unlicensed and unauthorized by Kanye West.
Mm-hmm.
It was created in RPG Maker. It's a hip hop themed science fiction 2D role playing game. Think like Pokemon style,
Right.
but with rappers.
Okay. You gotta catch them all.
No, not the concept, but just
Okay.
the style, the graphic style.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And you like wander around this world. There's like missions and shit. I think Base God was like the ruler.
Yes,
of
of
this
course. Thank you,
universe.
base guy.
Yeah. And you're just going around like doing quests and shit. Like what the name says, Kanye Quest.
Yeah.
I mean, because it was like an underground game, so to speak. It wasn't super thought out. It wasn't an A+ game. I mean, it was like a Game Boy game for a PC. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they, like, it got some notoriety. I remember actually hearing about it at the
No,
time.
now that you're explaining it, I'm remembering.
Yeah.
Like reading stuff about this when it was happening.
So, like I mentioned before, that the developer later stated that he actually didn't create the game and he had nothing to do with it. It was released under his name because he had the ins to whatever it was to develop a game. So it was found out, it was discovered that there's a portion of the game that is unusual.
The game created itself.
So when you first get in, no,
Fuck. I thought that's where we were going. I got excited.
when you first get into the game and the shit starts to ramp up, they tell you like, what do you want to do now? If you write the word ascend, the whole game like takes you to a whole new stage where you're a butterfly and you have to like travel through this maze of like computer terminals, and there's like passwords that you got to put in. Well, nobody knew what the fuck these passwords were, but motherfuckers is smart. So they hacked into the back end, looked at what these passwords were supposed to be, and then cracked the code for each one so they could progress to the next level. What this ended up being was like a recruitment tool for ascensionist cult or an ascensionist cult. So the keyword was ascend, which got you to this back end of this game that wasn't really in the open. It wasn't part of what this game was.
Okay.
And if once you go through all the steps in this game, you get to the very end where it tells you if you have reached the beginning of your journey or whatever, or the end of your journey, whatever it is, and if this is the route you want to take, then fill out the information below and it'll be sent to us and we will reach out to you in 2 weeks. And if you don't want to continue, then turn off your game. Like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And so the game doesn't exist anymore, or it does, but it's like, it's not the original version.
Yeah.
But
They
supposedly,
disabled that other shit, probably.
yeah. So supposedly the original version actually would send your shit somewhere. And they actually released a second game. And they had some hidden shit in that one too.
Yeah.
And like supposedly you get to a point where like they play you recordings, like voicemails of people that tried to call them to join. And so it's just like all this crazy shit. So there's this speculation that this could be a recruitment tool for this Ascension group. And if you look it up, like Ascension's a real thing. There's actually a record label,
Yeah.
Ascension Records. And like there's this whole concept behind it and a supposed cult.
But what is it? Like, what is that?
So the basics of Ascension is the term comes from mountain climbing.
Mm-hmm.
You're ascending to the top of the mountain. And so they have like basic teachings, I guess, that correlate to that concept of ascending. But like if you study cults, like there's supposed to be like deeper shit to it. I don't know. I didn't look too much into it because also this could just be ARG. Do you know what an ARG is? ARG is a alternate reality game.
Oh, okay.
And so it's a video game, but also it could just be an ARG that this developer created and he made that statement to like make it seem more real.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? Also, ARG could just be a way to explain like the creepy shit that happens. You know what I mean? Like the weird shit that comes up in things that's like this with high production value. You know what I mean? But ARG is basically like when people put out stuff that is creepy or that seems to have a big backstory, but they don't tell you what it is, and it seems like they're trying to misdirect you. Sometimes it's like a series of videos that, like, I think there was one of like a stalker. Yo, shout out to Nexpo. If you don't know who that is, go on YouTube, look him up, because that's how I got onto all these ARGs. He covers like internet mysteries, and there's just thousands of them, creepypastas, things like that. And he calls himself an investigator, and he like digs deep on all these different mysteries and kind of like gives his take on what's going on there. It's pretty interesting, but I was watching this Kanye Quest episode and I was like, oh shit.
No, I remember. I remember hearing about this now. Yeah, even the like even the cult shit too.
Yeah. And it's funny because it's like, oh, it's not licensed by Kanye, but I feel like this is some shit Kanye would be involved in.
Okay, I can see
Like
that.
even with the Ascension thing, like he could have. I feel like he could have even like made the shit up.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, that's hella fire. Like that's cool. Oh yeah, and it's like you ascending. Like just go with it. You know what I mean?
That's so yay.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I don't know if he's really a part of it. I'm just speculating.
Yeah, we'll
Probably not.
We'll
It's
text him.
probably
We'll
just
text him later
random
and find
dude.
out.
Yeah, I'll holler at him, man. I'll hit him up. Cootie.
Yeah. But I kind of want to play it.
That
And the
too.
second one. I'm not going to send my information, though.
No, don't do that. You shouldn't send your information if you don't know where it's going.
You
Yeah.
hear that, kids?
It's a dope dad fact. Dope dad tip for life. Life hack. Anything else you guys want to bring up?
We've been doing this for about hour 15.
Oh, yeah. I don't. Yeah, that was it. That was what I wanted to bring up.
Earth's flat. Sun is a space station. Moon is hollow.
Yeah.
No, I think I covered it all.
All right. Okay, guys. Thanks for tuning in. All right, it was a lot of fun. We're going to be back next week. So, tune in, same place, same YouTube channel. See you guys. Here's our outro.
Don't eat the broccoli.
We're just going to let you guys figure it out.